Chat, I don't think we watched this video. I guess it's new, no? This is from yesterday. You guys seen one of these movies? Chat says it's good.
Y soy veterano en la guerra de Vietnam, como hay aquí también.
I like it on fun. It's funny videos.
Debe ser.
Yo, what's up, guys? We're live in El Paso, Texas. Behind me, that sign says Bienvenidos. That means welcome to the United States of America. Our Latin American correspondent, Josue, is across the border right now, speaking to some recently deported people in the border town of Ciudad Juarez. Here's the scene on the ground.
Pues me agarró la migración trabajando sin papeles allá en un rancho.
¿Cuántos años logró estar allá en Estados Unidos?
26 años más o menos.
¿Como del 99?
Sí,
¿Y su familia se quedó allá?
sí,
¿Y su familia ya es legal allá?
sí. Se te cae el sueño americano.
¿Por qué saliste de El Salvador?
Para poder sacar a mi familia adelante, pues, porque allá está fregado también. Pues ganan $10 al día, $15 al día. Salí para poder ver si podía cumplir el sueño americano.
Ya ahora ya no, sueño americano ya no.
Ya no.
Ibas en busca del sueño americano.
Sí, lastimosamente se nos acabó el sueño.
¿Ahorita sigues esperando lo del sueño americano?
No, yo digo que ya esto se acabó. Ya no podemos pasar para Estados Unidos.
Pues es difícil el sueño americano. Para lograr entrar, ¿verdad? Sin papeles es difícil y pues para lograr hacer los papeles, pues está más difícil todavía. Está muy duro el sueño americano, pero hay que echarle ganas. ¿Qué tiene?
¿Quieres vivir en los Estados Unidos o no?
Oh, no, gracias.
¿Qué estás haciendo aquí en los Estados Unidos?
Oh, vengo aquí al centro de compras.
Oh, para comprar cosas.
Sí, creo que la cultura en México es más divertida y la comunidad, la gente. Si tienes ganas de hacer algo en México, vas a cualquier lugar y aquí es un poco muy diferente la vida. Amo Juárez y México.
As you guys know, the border's been a pretty hot topic for the past couple years. And during the Biden administration, the El Paso Juarez border was by far one of the most overrun by undocumented migration. It's a bit of a tense scene here right now. But there is some very impassioned individuals who are speaking their mind right here on the border. I think I can hear one right now.
Arriba Trump, paisanos. ¿Qué más? ¿Qué más? Mucha violencia, los otros inmigrantes, roba y roba. Inmigrantes roba celulares, pega y roba celulares. Los otros mexicanos puedo trabajar también, no solamente los jóvenes de otros países. ¿Qué pasó con Guatemala y Honduras, El Salvador? 100 niños diarios, regreso escondido en la otra puente. ¿Por qué no cámaras por eso? Criminals. Afganistán, 2,000 muertos en 20 años. México, 2,000 muertos cada semana, 600 semanas enseguida. Can you back up just a little bit?
Yeah, man.
Hey, what's up, guys? Or should I say, ¿qué tal, amigos? ¿Quieres escuchar todo este video en español? Simplemente dirígete a la parte inferior derecha de la pantalla y haz clic en el botón que dice configuración. Aparecerá un vara de herramientas y solo tienes que hacer clic en el botón que dice pistas de audio y seleccionar español. Y boom, después de esto, todo este video estará en español. Ok, adiós, amigos. The border's been a hot button issue for the past couple years, and it's definitely what got Donald Trump elected, among other obvious factors.
Black spaces are important and they should be enjoyed by black people for black people.
We covered the border a bunch over the course of definitely what got Donald Trump elected, among other obvious factors.
Black spaces are important and they should be enjoyed by black people for black people.
We covered the border a bunch over the course of the past year and a half, and I'm not going to lie to you, it is a up and horrendous situation. The key thing I think to think about here is that two things can be true at the same time. So first off, it is true that there has been incidents of horrific crimes that have been done by people who are undocumented, much of which has been relentlessly publicized to give the impression that undocumented migrants commit more crimes than U.S. citizens. But it is also true that the path to citizenship right now is totally broken, and a lot of that has to do with the Biden administration's lax policy regarding asylum seekers, which has bloated the immigration courts to the point of dysfunction. So to qualify for legal asylum in the U.S.
I think it's very important here because sometimes I don't listen when this happens. Hold on. Yeah, I just did that. Legal and illegal immigrants are less likely to be convicted of homicides in Texas than native-born Americans. Okay.
and U.S. citizens, but it is also true that the path to citizenship right now is totally broken, and a lot of that has to do with the Biden administration's lax policy regarding asylum seekers, which has bloated the immigration courts to the point of dysfunction. So to qualify for legal asylum in the U.S., one must be able to prove that they've suffered persecution or have a reasonable fear that their life is in danger due to their ethnicity, religion, nationality, membership in a social group, or political opinion. Asylum is applied... They've suffered persecution or have a reasonable fear that their life is in danger due to their ethnicity, religion, nationality, membership in a social group, or political opinion. Asylum is applied for by way of a request form called I-589, which is submitted to a federal judge who then has the power to either approve or deny your asylum request. If denied, you'll be deported, and if approved, you'll be given refugee status, which allows you to get a work permit, social security card, government assistance, and eventually the ability to become a lawful citizen if you don't break the law during the first couple years.
Yeah,
so
but
it used to be.
Yeah, but what, chat. It doesn't say what are the limitations, like the rules. I'm asking chat. What if you come from a country very far away? You can claim asylum. Is there no other places that are nearby that have asylum? Guys, if I'm in fucking, I don't fucking know, Portugal, and I come in and I'm like, yo guys, I need asylum. Is there no other countries before the United States that can do asylum? Did they choose? I thought there was rules with this shit, like that has to be the closest or whatever.
If you wanted to apply for asylum in America.
See? Yeah, but USA is better. I think this shouldn't be a thing. It's kind of awful, no? I thought asylum is like, yo guys, it's like saying, I think it's like saying, well, guys, there's massive rainstorm outside, guys, fast, everybody go to safety quickly for safety. I go to some guy's house, opens the door, I'm like, wait, 2-bedroom? You guys only have bread and butter? I'm good. I'll go to the next guy. Yo guys, I need safety. Dude, really? A bed with no bed sheets? Next. I'm going next. It's kind of odd, no?
You had to wait in Mexico, you had to request an appointment, and then once it was time for your appointment, you could go into America briefly and be heard by a judge. Well, that changed under the Biden administration, and it made it so you could actually come to the US illegally and make your asylum application here, and you couldn't be deported until you were heard for your hearing. So that should explain some of the footage that you saw in our coverage of the border crisis last year, where after hopping the border, migrants were not attempting to evade Border Patrol, but rather deliberately seeking them out to begin the asylum seeking process.
¿Qué significa asilo?
Pues que ayudan a las personas con los niños que vienen de México para acá.
¿Es una proceso fácil?
Pues yo digo que sí.
So because of that overflow, right now the average wait time is 7.5 years in New York City for an asylum appointment. So you have millions of people who came here illegally who are awaiting their application hearing, sitting in shelters and elsewhere in the US. They can't get their work papers. It's tough for them, tough for the border, tough for everybody. It's a pretty bad situation. So Trump's plan is to cancel all new asylum hearings moving forward.
And we gotta do it.
Dozens of migrants were notified their appointments with U.S. Customs were canceled moments after Trump took office.
No, aún no me llegaba la cita. 8 meses aquí en México y aún nada que llegaba la cita.
¿Y aquí en Ciudad Juárez cuánto tiempo ya?
Voy para el mes.
Tengo aquí esperando 1 año y medio la cita, pero no me salió. Y tampoco he dado el intento de pasar, nada de eso.
Yo tenía la cita aprobada ya.
¿Del CPM?
Así es, yo la tenía para el 27 de enero.
¿Ya tenías tú la cita pedida?
Hasta la cita los eliminaron. Ya no la podemos pedir ya.
Exactamente el lunes me cayó el correo de confirmación por la CBP que el programa estaba cancelado y que mi cita ya no era válida. Ya no puedo presentarme al puerto de entrada.
¿Y tú ahora cómo ves la llegada de Trump al poder?
Negativa ahorita con lo de la cita porque realmente yo estaba ilusionado que ya iba para allá. Yo con mi novia ya estábamos ilusionados que íbamos para allá y pues... No se logró.
And yeah, it just sucks right now in general. So we're gonna go talk to Josue and figure out what the heck's going on.
I think the dialogue gets impossible the more you kind of make it like about like emotions and whatever. Like, dude, it's like a wrong. Any take is technically wrong. Well, I'm just saying. if you, oh dude, fuck it, I'm making an adult decision as an adult with my children, and I'm sneaking in or whatever. Oh, we get caught, dude, but we have children. Oh, dude, and then Chad says, oh, dude, their families are being ruined. Yeah, I mean, I agree, but in a way, so we made it an adult decision to enter illegally and not do the correct process, and they put themselves in that situation, and it does suck. It does suck because the system is clogged or whatever, right? But I mean, if you take a shortcut and you didn't make an adult decision, you deal with adult consequences. It's not
Mi
fair,
contacto,
but, I mean,
mi contacto americano.
¿Qué onda?
¿Qué onda? ¿Cómo estamos?
Muy bien, no frontera, no problema.
No visa, no problema. I feel the American dream here. Oh shit.
Mi cosa favorita sobre México son los perros en la calle.
Aquí hay muchos perros. Hay gangas de perros que controlan las calles. Eso es todo un tema, porque aquí de repente hay calles en las que no puedes pasar porque una ganga de perros la controla.
Estoy adentro de México. ¿Eso es legal?
Ya eres color sepia de este lado. Hey chicos, esto es Canal 5 con Josué C. y...
This is Andrew, you're watching Channel 5. We're here at the U.S.-Mexico border, and as many of you know, Trump just issued some massive deportation orders.
Hoy estamos haciendo un reportaje acerca de los problemas en la frontera, la llegada de Donald Trump, la caída del CPM-1 y pues todos los problemas fronterizos que enfrenta hoy.
I was gonna say, you mentioned it's illegal because I didn't say, I don't know where I said it illegal. It's illegal to claim asylum, whatever. That's not. When did I say that? That is not what I said. That's not what I said. What if I said that? What? I said they're sneaking in. What?
Hoy día aquí, Ciudad Juárez.
Yeah, I can't really go to Mexico, and Josué can't come to the U.S. because of visa restrictions, so this is what we're doing.
No hay visa, pero tampoco hay pedo. Estamos entrando justo a uno de los túneles que nos dicen que utilizaban anteriormente los migrantes para cruzar.
Let's see. So what? You're blaming migrants for a systemic issue? Branded libtard taken. Well, how am I blaming anybody? Well, I'm blaming the person that's doing something that they shouldn't be doing, which is, I think, the de facto correct argument. If a system is fucked, you don't go, oh well, fuck it then. I will, then I deserve this. This would happen normally, so I'm gonna do this by myself or whatever. Like, I'm so confused. Like, if I know I'm gonna get a US visa or whatever, and they say, yo, you have to wait 12 months, I don't go, well, I know for a fact that if the process went through, I'd be accepted. I'm gonna sneak in, and by the time that I get it, then I'll be chilling. Well, I don't do that. I wait, and if that means I'm waiting for a couple of years, so be it. I mean, I don't know what else. If you're willing to accept the possible pros and the advantages of doing something, then you also have to accept the negative consequences if they happen.
And we are getting a closer look
inside
that man-made tunnel that connects all the way from Ciudad Juárez into El Paso, which prompted a multi-agency response from both U.S. and Mexican officials.
Bueno, los coyotes por este tipo de túneles cruzaban a los migrantes. Uy, sí, hay muchas cucarachas. Uf. Se supone que todo esto conecta a la ciudad, ¿no?
Todo lo que es el centro de Juárez conecta a la catedral y a una escuela que se llama La Revolución, y de aquel lado de Estados Unidos pues ya conecta con varios locales.
Así de antiguos son, ¿no? Como cuando se traficaba alcohol, cuando el alcohol era ilegal.
De Capone y así. Y hace no tanto, a lo mejor unos 10, 15 años fue cuando clausuraron todo este pedo.
Okay.
Se supone, ¿verdad? Que ya quedó todo clausurado, pero pues realmente no.
No sabemos bien.
No sabemos.
Por obvias razones no mostramos en qué lugar.
I understand it takes years for the asylums, whatever. Brother, the shit is fucking clogged up. What do you people don't understand? Like, they're literally saying, yeah, it shit's clogged up. It needs a fucking full reset, or whatever. You're not acting like there's no other nearby asylum takers or whatever. Bro, people are picking and choosing. I'm so confused. Bro, people are picking and choosing the United States for the like, quite literally. I'm so confused though. Like, it's not, there's not only the United States. You want the United States, but there's other ones too though.
Nos dejaron pasar, pero sí, sí es unos túneles bastante bien hechos. Podemos observar bastantes cucarachas muertas en el suelo. Ah, sí, mira, aquí se ve la puerta que alguna vez hubo, ¿no?
Yeah, hey, Nicole. So they're filling and sealing up this sophisticated tunnel that sources say transnational criminal organization were moving around 1,000 people a week through this tunnel.
¿Cuántas cosas no habrán pasado por aquí?
The majority in that case, especially if you're coming through a tunnel, will be exploited. Either not just sexual exploitation, but fraud, labor fraud as well, and forced labor.
Sigamos en nuestra investigación acerca de los migrantes en Juárez.
Y aquí a mis espaldas está Gracia Abundante, una iglesia
If your country is prosecuting you, whatever, and you have to claim asylum, let's say you're in South America, can you not go to Mexico? Does Mexico say no? They don't like that? I'm confused. But Mexico is a pretty developed country, no? That you can, but it's no better. Yeah, but then you're picking and choosing though, no? I'm confused though. So you guys are calling Mexico a bad country, then I don't agree. Mexico's a good country. What the fuck?
Refugio donde se le cobra 100 pesos a cada migrante para que tenga acceso a un catre y a baño y a la cocina. La verdad es que la mayoría son venezolanos y colombianos.
Nosotros estamos pagando una habitación, pues nuestro pensamiento en estos momentos es quedarnos y esperar a lo que Trump y Dios decida. O sea, en cualquier momento yo sé que sí nos va a dar la oportunidad, pero debemos esperar.
O sea, que cruzar legalmente, no has intentado otra forma.
Yo, the Mexican slanderness chat is actually awful. Yo, pay respect to Mexico, motherfuckers. Yo, chill. You need to fucking chill. Yo, be nice. What is wrong with you guys? Mexico is nice. What the fuck?
No, me da mucho miedo, sobre todo por mi hija.
Okay. Estoy alquilando una habitación, que ahí estamos en la lucha constante a ver qué sucede. No nos vamos a quitar la esperanza y esperamos que los que tenemos la cita, que tuvimos la cita confirmada, esperamos que seamos los primeros a ver qué pasa.
Sí, cobran 100 pesos diarios.
100 pesos diarios y ¿a qué tienes acceso con esos 100 pesos?
Vuelvo a bañarse y a cocinar.
Si lo ponen un día por ahí que yo era un medio extraterrestre, pero arriba es Jesús.
Gracias. Pues ahorita va a estar más difícil con Trump, ¿no?
Yo les recomiendo que se queden aquí los que son de aquí, porque va a estar cabrón. Más bien me tengo que quedar aquí porque si paso, me encierran 5 años.
You can't have people pouring in from the prisons all over the world and from mental institutions all over the world and dumped into our country.
Entienda que nosotros los inmigrantes no es que queramos pasar, sino pues quiero pasar legalmente con todos mis papeles legalmente.
Yo quería pasar a legal, pues, hasta esperar y no se me dio la oportunidad.
Estamos sufriendo poco a poco, pero con la bendición de ellos todo a lograrlo.
As you can see from these interviews, many migrants who made the perilous journey north from countries like Venezuela, Honduras, and Colombia aren't.
Dude. Okay, no disrespect. I'm not trying to. No disrespect. So many places. Everybody goes to the U.S. Everybody's doing the U.S. There's no other places that accept asylum seekers. Bing, bong, bang, bong, shebing, shebang, shpunk, shpink, shbang. If you say, guys, I'm being prosecuted in my country, I need help. Everybody says no here, they all say fuck you. All of them. Really. No shot.
really considering going back home.
Bueno, mi razón era porque me iba a entregar a la frontera, pero tengo amigos que vinieron conmigo subiendo y lo...
I'm just saying that the argument doesn't even make sense. The argument you're trying to push, it's all asylum. It's all asylum. Brother, when you pick the country you want, it's no longer asylum, brother. I'm so fucking confused. Dude. How is that a question mark? Asylum is like this. I'm being prosecuted. This is last resort. I'm leaving my country as like because I will die. I need safety. And then you go, but I want a bed. I want this. I want food. I want this. Like I want everything. Bro, you're choosing. I'm so confused.
Regresaron, o sea, entraron a Estados Unidos, entonces yo dije, no, me costó mucho subir para acá para otra vez empezar de cero y yo dije, pues ni modo, me quedo aquí trabajando, tendré que quedar acá a unos años.
After all, the journey took many of them several months, if not more, and was quite costly.
De traslado, unos 6 meses.
¿Cómo llegaste?
Pues me trasladé en autobús, también me subí en el tren.
Para poder llegar de Ciudad de México hasta aquí, me duró un mes.
Un mes 17.
I'm asylum as a Canadian, guys. It's shit's been tough. I want to go to China. Like, dude, there's no other place before that's going to accept me like before. Like,
7 días para llegar.
¿En qué venías?
Caminando.
¿Caminando? ¿Te aventaste caminando hasta acá?
Casi un año echando.
¿En llegar hasta acá, hasta Ciudad Juárez?
Acá llegué a Ciudad Juárez porque fue tocado caminar. Así a veces cuando nos bajaban del tren tocaba caminar y caminar. A veces nos quedamos en montes.
Hicieron que pararan el tren, eran como las 2 de la mañana y entonces vimos que migración estaba en la parte de Torreón y entonces justamente paró el tren. Nos tuvimos que meter por el desierto y durar hasta las 4 de la mañana para...
Unidos.
yes. So you're saying these other countries are also saying, oh, bad place or whatever. Chad is doing some slang. I'm just last pause. What all I'm saying is that how is it on to the United States to onboard the load out of everybody? Why is it their responsibility to do good and onboard all the problems and all the whatever? They have to care for the whole slab of land from top to bottom. United States is they have to do it for everybody. Bro, fuck no. What?
The train she's referring to is called La Bestia, or the Beast. It's a cheap freight train that's meant to deliver raw materials, not people, from south to north, beginning at the Mexico-Guatemala border. Because of its lax security, many migrants jump on La Bestia while it's moving and take it as...
It's like the mother suckers that immigrate and go from whatever they live at to LA. Guys, I need to make it. I need to make it in the world. I has to be LA. Everybody goes to LA, everybody is homeless. Everybody's broke as shit, fucking in the streets, fucking LA poverty. Dude, but I had to make it. Bro, you could have chosen anywhere. You could go to fucking North Dakota, Wyoming, Ohio, I don't fucking know. Anywhere you want. But you want to go LA. Well, there is it. Bro, like, what?
as far north as they can. It's estimated that in 2023, there were as many as 1,000 migrants hopping the El Paso Juarez border every single day, much of whom had rode La Bestia from the south.
Una vez una señora venezolana, de hecho, se cruzó, pero se cayó justo cuando la bestia empezó. Entonces la señora se quedó en las vías así hasta que pasara, pero las vías tienen un seguro. Entonces el seguro la agarró y pues la hizo cachitos. Y justamente fue ahí.
Unfortunately, this uptick led to a drastic surge in violent crime in Ciudad Juarez, which
Why?
had
I
relatively
said
calm in the years
because I wanted to go and I asked. They said yes, and then I went. They said yes. They said yes. They said yes. I don't know what to tell you.
prior, despite once being dubbed as Murder City, after Juarez saw 3,600 homicides in 2011. To clarify, the surge in violent crime wasn't a result of the migrants themselves, but rather the criminal organizations vying for control of the lucrative human smuggling routes along the border.
El peligro de los niños en los trenes, las mujeres, a que sean violadas, a que sean secuestradas por los narcos y todo eso, es mucho riesgo.
Much like the cartels control the flow of drugs into the US, they also control the flow of migrants. I've learned from personal experience that every single inch of the US-Mexico border is claimed by a cartel, who impose a tax on coyotes and pay authorities to look the other way. They are also known to squeeze and extort money out of migrants along the way, which adds another element of extreme risk to their already treacherous journey.
No les importa la situación que uno esté, nada. Me llegaron casi a secuestrar a mi hija, pero pues con la bendición de Dios.
I gotta give it a buck. How? Okay, no, hey, no disrespect. How is that not war? Like, literally, if United States and Mexico both uphold their border and say, "Yo, guys, we're not letting them dumb shit happen," and then they get paid and they go, "Fuck it, yeah," but and they breach the border as an individual. How is that not war? That's war, brother. What the fuck? I'm confused. That's insane.
Señor, yo no sé, se le abrió el corazón y me la dio.
As briefly mentioned, stealing children away from their mothers for ransom is a common way the cartels will get money out of migrants. Oftentimes, this happens along La Bestia's route, but other times the extortion continues even after they've been trafficked into the U.S. According to Ruben Garcia, who's the program director at a migrant shelter in El Paso called the Annunciation House, this story is all too common.
My name is Ruben Garcia, and we're in Annunciation House, one of our hospitality houses.
Annunciation House, a local shelter that helps asylum seekers and refugees.
As Garcia explains, the shelter would house close to 1,000 refugees in any given week.
We just received a mom from Guatemala. She came up with her 4-year-old daughter with a smuggler in Juarez. The smuggler sold her to another smuggler, and that smuggler took her 4-year-old daughter and then took mom to where the metal fence is. You'll get your daughter once you're on the other side. Here's a cell phone. It was a way to get a lot more money. When she got to Border Patrol, the Central Processing Center, there they took her to get a medical checkup, and she was able to get one of the officers to listen to her, who then called Homeland Security Investigation. She had a cousin in Florida that had helped her with some of the money to pay to the smuggler. They set up the meeting in Las Cruces. And there they showed up, they made the arrest, they had the 4-year-old. They also had a 6-week-old baby that they had taken away from another mother. They reunited the 4-year-old with mom, and they were both at our house, and that's how we heard the story of how that all happened. So that's what I mean.
In lieu of these kinds of horrific situations, President Trump passed Executive Order 14157, designating 6 cartels and 2 gangs as foreign terrorist organizations.
President Trump's administration has plans to designate several cartels and criminal groups as foreign terrorist organizations.
Something which could give the U.S. military and other law enforcement bodies the power to invade Mexico. But prospect of an invasion aside, many Mexicans say they support Trump's designation and hope that Mexico will do its part in holding these organizations accountable.
¿Qué piensas sobre eso?
Creo que está bien la clasificación porque pues son personas que hacen daño y que no se tientan mucho el corazón con algunas personas. Y estaría bien el título.
Many Mexicans also understand the need for heightened border security on both sides.
No estoy en contra de los inmigrantes ni nada de eso, no soy racista ni nada de eso.
¿Usted cree bien que estén deportando a toda la gente que están deportando?
Si están ilegalmente es un delito.
Si van a deportar, que sí deporten a las personas que de verdad están haciendo daño. Las personas que están trabajando no se lo merecen porque también están con un sueño y están manteniendo a su familia. Trump debería darse cuenta de eso, que él también tiene familia.
¿Y tu familia está en Venezuela o en Estados Unidos?
Tengo familia en Venezuela y en Perú.
Okay. ¿Y ellos qué opinan de tu situación actual?
No, yo me dice que espere a ver qué dicen.
¿Y tu familia?
No, pues allá están en otro lado.
¿Ellos también se quedaron allá?
Sí.
¿Y no saben nada de ti?
No, nada.
¿Tampoco te has podido comunicar o sí, igual no te contestan?
No, no he sabido nada de ellos. Pero yo pues ya espero estén bien ellos, así como estoy yo bien.
Se olvida la familia. La hermana, pues, mi mamá, pues, no sé si ya falleció porque estaba muy enferma la última vez.
¿Ya no supiste?
Ya no supe. Pero yo pienso que sí, porque mi hermana no me quiere y mi mamá era la única que me ayudaba.
La gente tiene que aprender que tiene que hacer las cosas bien, no así. Atravesar México sin permiso también es ilegal.
In my role as a journalist over the course of these past few years, one thing that I've learned is that people on the ground who are immersed in an intense experience can only tell you so much about all of the factors at play that are causing their situation. As they're
Yo. A lot of people that have these stories possibly and would get in if it wasn't for everybody else piggybacking off of that shit to fucking get in, and they go, bro, you think this is all of them? Brother, these guys, they piggyback the whole cause to get in, motherfucker, right? I'm like, oh, it's all like that. It's all like that. It's not all like that. It's not. They're not though.
Their primary concerns are reaching a place of safety, health, and happiness. In many cases, I've found that the best people to really talk to are those who are in a stable place but work tirelessly day in, day out to serve these communities. As we mentioned earlier, Ruben Garcia, once called the saint of the El Paso border by The New Yorker, runs a shelter called the Annunciation House. The shelter is currently at the center of a tense legal battle. Several months ago, Republican Attorney General Robert Paxton filed a criminal lawsuit against Ruben Garcia, calling the Annunciation House a stash house for criminal illegal aliens.
This is all according to Annunciation House. 430 were released on Sunday night, 197 on Monday, 181 on Tuesday, Christmas Day.
At this point, it's unclear whether or not the shelter will remain open. But Ruben Garcia is an extremely knowledgeable individual, so here is an extended interview with the man himself.
What can you tell us about this place?
Well, that it's been almost...
So what if the shelter was the same thing, just over the border on the other way? But it's the exact same establishment. Wouldn't that work too?
It's been offering hospitality to refugees and migrants for almost 50 years. That has allowed us to have a history of watching the flow of immigrants throughout the years.
Was there a particular experience that made you want to get involved in this kind of work?
I grew up here in El Paso, so I'm a product of the border. This is what I thought that I was called to do, and so that's what I'm doing.
What are some of the main services y'all offer to migrants here?
Primarily hospitality, place to stay, shower, give people an opportunity to contact their family so that they can get tickets and they can move on. The vast majority of people don't stay in border cities.
Do you find that in the past couple of years, most people have came from Latin America, or is it a more international?
Central America, I would say the last couple of years, a significant increase in Venezolanos.
And what do you think has caused this mass migration to the north?
People have been migrating for centuries. The name of the city, Paso al Norte, the pass to the north. When you go outside, you'll see the two mountain chains. People pass through there to go further north. If you ask people today, or 400 years ago, why did you leave? They're gonna answer primarily, I was afraid, I'm hungry.
Y huyendo también de la economía de allá, acuérdese, todo eso.
¿Está difícil el trabajo por allá?
Sí, está difícil conseguir trabajo por allá.
Unfortunately, someone discovers that I can get votes by making a big deal out of this.
Democrat lawmakers care more about illegal aliens than they care about their own constituents. They put foreign citizens before American citizens. We're not going to do that.
It's only when it's in the headlines that you all come. It gives the impression that this is a crisis, this is something new, as opposed to saying, this is an issue.
So it's not a crisis then. So the systems aren't bloated and the system isn't broken because it's overflooded then.
Issue that we have to collectively address. There are 360 million Americans in the United States. In spite of all the problems that people in the country have, it's not causing people to flee. That's not the case in other countries.
Okay. But what do you think happens when you say, yo guys, there's no repercussions, nothing happens. If you think you have asylum seeking, fuck it, full send in the United States. Hey, El Paso is now the golden road to to America. Boom. Open the gate. Boom. Everybody in. Then what?
25% of the population of Venezuela has fled. That would be the equivalent of 90 million Americans. Everyone in Venezuela should be living adequately comfortable. But because of the political dysfunction, look what's happened. You're not going to solve the situation in Venezuela by putting up a fence, by bringing down the army. It still allows Venezuela to remain pretty dysfunctional. And they didn't all come here. This is the other myth, the overwhelming.
So what's the solution then? Wait, so what's the solution? I'm confused. That's a problem, but what's the solution though?
A number of Venezolanos went to Colombia, went to Peru, went to Ecuador. Yes, we received some, but nowhere near the numbers that other countries. People flee because of dysfunction.
What can you tell us about the current situation regarding mass deportations?
There's been a lot of discussion about it. What do you classify as mass deportation? Does it have to be 3 million? Does it have to be 5 million? How are you actually going to first find them, identify them, and then succeed in being able to remove them? There's a lot of laws on the books that give people certain rights. If you've been living in the United States, you have U.S. citizen children, within the law, you have the right to explain to the judge why I shouldn't go back. Right now, I'm thinking about a family. They were doing well economically. They were fine until one day a hit squad attacked their home. They shot mom. The bullet went through her lung. Here's a family that doesn't want to go back because mom almost got killed. Their children have gone on to go to school. Some of them have already gotten married. If Border Patrol ever discovers this family,
yo, did I miss something? I'm confused. That story doesn't...
they're going to have the right to go before an immigration judge. So it's not just a matter of, oh, you're undocumented, come with me, I'm going to take you. It doesn't work that way.
So you think a lot of the sensational optics about, mass roundups and just dropping people off at the border is sort of meant to push a political agenda as opposed to being reflective of reality?
We know that it's a political agenda.
Annunciation House also stresses how migration, documented or undocumented, can be beneficial to the economy.
In order for a country to maintain stability, you need a certain birth rate. Every woman needs to have 2.1, 2.2.
Okay, then fuck it. Then everybody go to Korea then. Then, hey, yo, if the argument is birth rate, mother sucker, everybody swim to fucking Korea. Fuck this shit. Birth rates are plummeting all the way down low. So since this is the main argument, yo, fuck it. Everybody go there. Like, what?
Children, that keeps your population stable. That is immensely important for your economy. Right now, China will incentivize you to have babies. Russia, France, Germany, they're all incentivizing. The birth rate in the United States right now is about 1.5. So, you're my fairy godmother. You have your wand. Go ahead, close all 4 sides. Close the Pacific, the Atlantic, the Southern. Not another human being comes in. And watch what's going to happen. Our country can't continue unless we have a healthy influx of...
This is 1.66, which is bad, but I think that's the whole world,
that's
though, no?
the truth. However, that's not going to get me votes. Tell them. They're murderers, they're rapists.
They're not humans. They're not humans. They're animals.
Tonight, when...
Yo, South Korea, 0.78. 0.78, brother! Yo!
You go home, look under your bed. There might be a refugee hiding under your bed. When I was in grade school, we were warned about the communists. And now it's, let's be afraid. You're like me, I'm going to protect you from this invasion, etc. The sad thing about it is that, look at how we begin to talk about other human beings in derogatory terms. Is that really who we want to be? We should have immigration policy that allows people to enter legally, that can go to work, that are not taken advantage of.
They are essential workers, and rain or shine, migrant farm workers show up to make sure all Americans have food on the table.
There's been all kinds of stories of the abuse of the H-1B visa.
These companies are bringing in people and paying them less than Americans would get for similar jobs. Companies are bringing in people and paying them less than Americans would get for...
Yeah, but like I said last time, it's kind of confusing. So these guys want, so they say these guys are essential, but then, so they want them to be paid less?
Similar jobs.
I'm so confident
it's contradictory.
That we could come up with some really good proposals for laws that would work so much better than the system we have right now. Nobody has ever wanted criminals to come in. Border Patrol, here in Border Patrol, we have a facility. It's a very large facility that is called the Central Processing Center. Anyone that Border Patrol apprehends is taken to the Central Processing Center. Your fingerprints are going to be matched against the FBI database, the Department of Homeland Security database, the immigration database. If you're from Mexico, if you're from El Salvador, if you're from Guatemala, it's going to be matched against their criminal databases to see if anything kicks out. Even individuals during Title 42, they would push them back into Mexico after they did the fingerprint screening on the off chance that this person has a criminal record of the role.
What if you accept to wear an ankle monitor if you get in the United States? Hey, yo, the price is you wear an ankle monitor, whatever. If you get an ankle monitor and you get fingerprinted, yo, whatever, as a temporary solution. What? Push a marker? Okay.
Border Patrol is to identify criminals and keep them from entering the country. It shouldn't be the honest worker. You can't imagine how many people have crossed the 30-foot
I would do it.
And fallen and end up with all kinds of broken bones. If you survive that, I'll give you a job. It shouldn't have to be that way.
Yeah, it's hard when you have two very polarized opinions.
Yo, you wear an ankle monitor until you're hearing for your asylum seeking. You're an asylum seeker. Okay, here's the price. You wear an ankle monitor until your asylum hearing, and then if you now are asylum seeker approved, ankle monitor goes off. Don't want to? Don't want the ankle monitor then. And you don't come in. What about it? How's that not a good solution?
Seem to not be able to interact. There should be an easier process.
For 7 years? Yeah, so? Confused, what?
To obtain citizenship and be able to get your papers. I mean...
Correct. If you have a Pedro or a Jose or a Fabian or Guillermo who crosses the border and is never apprehended, and they make their way into the interior of the United States, well, we don't know anything about them. The statistics tell us that there probably is not criminality.
The one thing I think there is legitimately possibly reason to fear would be the cartels.
Correct, but I can assure you cartels are not crossing the border.
But I guess the thing is, obviously, most coyotes are in some way connected economically to the cartel infrastructure.
They're paying to access the space to cross through. You're correct.
It's unfortunate that it's making billions for the cartel. I wish there was a way that the cartel wasn't the one running the show. Do you think there's any solution around that?
We have this tendency to declare wars. The only war we should declare is the war on addiction. Every year, you and I transfer between 25 and 40 $1 billion.
I feel like the whole I think at one point, how much can you stretch an argument to where it's always cartel? Cartel is like running the world, like cartel everything. GG. Everything is GG, and it's exploding. But it's the cartel. Okay, then we're good. Then you can think about it. Moving on. Next argument. That's kind of.
In drug profits to Mexico. With that kind of money, it makes it possible for them to corrupt, and that's what makes governments become dysfunctional.
So you think without the...
At one point, can you not just blame the government? Can you not just blame the country? Like, at one point, it's like if somebody makes an accident, every single day say, yo, listen, today, just don't do that. They do it. Don't do that. They do it. And it never stops. When you're like, okay, listen, man, we've come to the conclusion that after 365 instances of you doing it, it just has to be deliberate. Sorry, sir. It has to be deliberate because it's so fucking bad. It has to be deliberate. So we take action as if you were doing it deliberately. Boom.
The American drug addiction, there wouldn't be a cartel.
We have created the Drug Enforcement Agency. The amount of people that are in our prisons right now, the amount of money that we spend, tell me that we're ready to go and declare victory.
Do you think there's some accountability to be taken on behalf of the medical industry here too?
Isn't it interesting that you want to do that with drugs, but you don't want to do that with guns? There is no such thing as a...
Say that again?
Victory.
Do you think there's some accountability to be taken on behalf of the medical industry here too?
Isn't it interesting that you want to do that with drugs, but you don't want to do that with guns? There is no such thing as a bad gun. Huh? There is only a person who uses the gun badly. But with drugs, we want to keep going after the manufacturers of drugs.
But if you look at like Purdue Pharma and some of these companies that like use people as testing ground.
I'm simply saying that's where we have put the emphasis ever since Nixon declared war. And where are we today?
Drug-related deaths are on track to reach record highs this year.
There's certain cartel activities that seem to go far beyond economic necessity.
You're now talking about the abuse, the beatings, the killings, the prostitution. I do believe that there is evil in the world.
You don't think it's just people?
I don't think the bad actors of gun usage are using guns that come from other countries and shit. I don't think they've been smuggled to other countries. I think they're from within, no?
Motivated by self-interest, refusing to consider.
A lot of it is clearly self-interest. But I also think that self-interest can be evil.
I just oftentimes
people that do all the bad shootings or whatever, they have guns from China and shit? Dude, no shot. What?
Think about the self-justification systems in people who do stuff like that. Then you wonder if there is none at all, and if they just wake up and say, I like doing terrible things.
I have to believe that a lot of it has to do with our culture and the need for our culture to really examine itself.
You think America's in a spiritual crisis?
I think it's been in a spiritual crisis for a long time.
Y bueno, ha llegado mi transporte, chicos. Esto fue Canal 5, Channel 5 Latinoamérica. Nos vemos en la siguiente.
After covering such an intense, relatively sobering matter with Josue, I asked him if maybe he'd like to cover something a bit more lighthearted for his third Channel 5 special. He said sure, and sent back what is probably some of the craziest footage I've ever seen.
Yo no sé cómo es posible que, por ejemplo, la gente esté en contra de las peleas de gallos.
I'll be honest with you, I think this is almost deliberately confusing. I feel like this could be explained in a simpler manner. I feel like they complicate the topic almost deliberately. How is this complicated?
Y quieren aprobar el aborto. Para mí, mis gallos son como mis hijos.
Todos los animales tienen emociones y sentimientos. Esas personas deberían de estar en prisión.
Estamos aquí en el ambiente gallístico. Vénganse a divertirse. Realmente es un ambiente muy popular, familiar. Vean, son aves de combate que realmente nacen para eso. Se matan realmente entre ellos.
Yo, aquí Josué para Channel 5, Canal 5 Latinoamérica. Aquí en
Canal
México,
5.
mientras hay estados como Veracruz,
the videos on
Quintana
Canal
Roo
5.
y la misma Ciudad de México que ha implementado leyes para prohibir esta bonita tradición. Hoy, en el Estado de México, estamos a punto de vivir un derbi de gallos, la primera jornada de esta bonita liga aquí en lo que es el Palenque Caseta Vieja.
If you'd like to see our complete, uncut, and extended documentary, Mexico Cockfighting.
Okay. Using immigrants as a benefit for birth rate is a fuck. You need to make people. Yeah, I mean, there's a massive cultural problem. It's a ultra cultural problem. It's a social problem that is being felt everywhere in developed countries. It's a problem, and unfortunately, I don't know the fix. I don't think you do either. Okay. What's not helping though is the fucking cost of life being so fucking high. People can't really afford and split time to fucking raise a child. Okay, women have to go to work, men have to go to work. Nobody has fucking time or money and spare time to do all this shit. Okay, they can barely fucking survive. Most of this shit is probably like half accidental. Let's be honest.